I wanted to speak to you today about the choice. Do we have a free choice? Apparently, we have a free choice, but it doesn't worth anything because we are, in a way, walking in this life when our eyes are closed. We don't know where we're going to, and we can make, so to speak, a choice which is conditioned on our previous conditions because we did not create ourselves, our sensitivities, our pros and cons. So we have a free choice, yes, but it's worth nothing. So, and please pay attention, each and every one of us, to self-investigation if you have the time during the day or in the evening, and try and see and look into those moments when something comes, a signal comes from the outside, whether it's a light or a sound or a text message, it creates a comment in us, a reaction. And according to the reaction that we have to this input, we shall act, or we shall feel something, or a thought will come as a consequence from this input. So try to follow those little moments in life, and it is almost certain that we shall see that we don't have really a free choice. Yes, 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 Gigo, garbage in, garbage out. Yes, there is an input, comes, let's say a flash of light, a sound, and please just pay attention. There's a comment coming from ourselves, from our little program called myself, so to speak, in brackets. Each and every one of us is a very smart computer, programmed computer, and according to the signals that we get, yes, we shall react according to our personal programming, because each and every one of us is programmed according to his unique conditions. Yes, because before one person appears on planet Earth as alive, as a baby, there's like who knows how many meetings between eggs and sperms had to meet that he will be created in those specific conditions. This is why we are so different in the look from each, and each one has his own print, his own look, his preferences, because each and every one of us was created from certain conditions, previous conditions, that not you or I or nobody really planned. Is this idea clear? I would like to see what you're writing. Yes. Our reaction are always based on our conditions. Yes. Yes. In a very interesting way, the Bible says the same thing. We start reading the Bible. 1 second, I'll close the window. There is a sound of airplanes. 1 second, please. Yes, we're back again. In the same manner, the Bible is written in the same way. There is a program. There is a plan. By us reading or following the text, the program is just being revealed to us. But there is a primal vision. There is a primal, let's say, plan. We just don't, like innocent readers, we are reading Bereshit, bara Elohim, and so, and we learn about Abraham or Isaac or Noah, like if we don't know. But the Bible, what does the Bible do? Just exposing, yes, this plan in front of our eyes and heart. Because this is not just a story of historical figures, so to speak. Yes, this plan is embedded in our lives as well. Yes. Yes, like a source code of reality. This is it. For us, this is very hard to accept because what? I'm waking up in the morning, I go to my office, I do what I need to do. Yes, I have many projects on my head, a lot of meetings every day, and I'm meeting very interesting people and very influential people. And you want to tell me that I did not create my life and I did not initiate those meetings, and I worked so much, yes, to make those appointments with very interesting people, and you're telling me that I'm not the doer and I did not plan this plan? I took an airplane to meet someone in Europe for a couple of hours, and you telling me that I did not do it? Yes. Yes. We did not. Yes. Yes. We just, for us, it is very, very hard to accept that in a way that there is a path to each and every one of us. There is a very unique path which is programmed only for him or for her, and we are just following this path that was in a way determined before we even arrive here. It is very, very, very hard to accept. It is very hard to accept, I admit. Yes, I would like to see or to hear if you have something to say. This is the time. Yes, our education is so that we are the masters of our domain, but life experience shows that it is not so. Many disappointments. Yes, we are not the engineers. This is very, very interesting to accept that we are not the engineers of our lives. Yes, we are not the author of our lives. We are not. Yes, I saw something very interesting, a text that a mother wrote to her daughter after they were family with parents and two children. For a certain reason, it didn't work. Yes. And the mother had to explain the child that they tried, but it doesn't work. And she wrote those following words: though we tried so hard in different ways to do the best, to do it faster, to do it stronger, all the columns that we were educated according, those pillars that if you do better, faster, greater, stronger, you'll do it. She said to her daughter, you saw that we tried, but sometimes it does not work. Not because somebody messed it up, not because we were late to a meeting. Sometimes it doesn't work because it's not supposed to work. It is supposed to be what it is, and then we move on to the next stage or the next page. Yes, not everything we plan and not everything is our fault. Yes, like people tend to think that I did this mistake and therefore the meeting or this very interesting contract went through my finger because I didn't pay. Sometimes it's supposed to be like it, not because we are to blame or we did a fault or it's our own mistake. Yes? So the best thing is to accept things as they are, because as they are, this is the only reality. What comes is many times that we don't accept what is happening and we go against it. And to go against what is coming or what is causing a lot of suffering, meaning there's only one suffering: to go against what is happening. Because what is happening is happening. It's a moment given from the source, from infinity, and this is what there is. We don't judge it. But if we go against it, this is what brings the suffering. Yes, Yanis. Fighting reality breeds resentment. Yes. The ancient Stoics had a prayer. where we pray for everything to happen exactly as it happens. Fighting reality breeds resentment. That's correct. Yes. And Yanis says, sounds like, yes, Mishael 69, a man's heart plans his way, but the Lord's directed steps. Yes, yes, yes. There is a beautiful saying in Hebrew German that God makes plans and God is laughing. Yes, because we don't know what divinity is planning ahead for us. Because we can only live in the moment. So we don't know what the next moment will bring. Yes? This is what the Bible tries to teach us because the Bible is basically the being book. Being in the moment. Yes, it's not about a family as people tend to think. It's not about ethnical group. Yes, it's not about Judah or Judaism. This is a completely wrong story. Yes, it's about being, being, and why there is a mistake to change the book of being with. Yes, thank you, Zeno. This is a saying in German. Der Mensch denkt, God lenkt. Yes, humans think and God guides, operates, and laughs. In Yiddish, it's like this: that makes man makes plan and God is laughing because he has the final saying in all of this. So what is the mistake that people usually do and say that the Bible is the book of Judaism? There's a great mistake. Why? Because the Bible speaks of the being. Being is the name of God, the tetragrammaton. You see, 4 letters, Yod, Hey, Vav, Hey, as we mentioned before. This is being or Havaya. As we write it like this is the being. Not becoming, but being. Now, please pay attention. The name Judah, the four sons of Leah and Jacob, is written in the same way with additional letter. Only letter Dalet. In this way. The tetragrammaton and the fourth letter. And then we get the name Yehuda. Therefore, and here is the mistake that everybody does for generations. It's not the book of Judaism. Yes? It's the book of being. The Bible is the book of being. And here is the mistake because, in a way, the 4 letters of being are part of the name of Judah. So they call it the book of the Jews or, a Judaism. This is not about it. I hope this is understood. I mean, all the monotheistic religions are based on the same book. Yes, yes. This is the book of being. This is how things are. Yes, as in the moment. This is the being. Being is the moment. Yes? There is a great stream of anti-Semitism. How shall I say? Antisemite. I don't know how to say this in English. Anti-Semitism. Yes, yes. What is the reason? Yes, it's against being. This is the meaning of anti-Semitism because it's anti is against. Yes, anti is against. Yes, anti, like anti something. Anti is against. Yes, against something. Yes, anti is against. And Semitism comes from Shem. Shem. Shem is the name. Shem is the name. Yes, Shem is the name. And the name is the essence. Yes, when we give a name to this furniture, on top of which we put things, we name it table. Yes, or in Hebrew, shulchan. Shulchan, because name is the essence. Name is the essence. In Hebrew, one second. Essence. I hope that I wrote it correctly. If not, correct me. Essence. Yes. Shem, name, is the essence. Let's say table in Hebrew, we say shulchan. Why do we say shulchan? From sholeach, sense. What is lying at the moment on the table is what reality sends to us. If we see a book on a table, it means that the table in Hebrew, shulchan, sholeach, sends us a book. If we see a coffee cup on the table, it means that reality or life are sending us a cup of coffee. If we see a pencil box on the table, it means reality sends us a pencil box. Shulchan, sholeach. So the name is the essence. So why do we speak with names or words? Because in this way we build reason. We imitate, yes, how the divine essence is. By speaking, by giving situations and object names, we are doing what as divinity works. It's funny how all conspiracy theories like flat earth, etc., all end up in anti-Semitism. It begins and ends with a rejection of being, essence, and reality. Excellent. Yes. This is it. To reject reality, to reject reason. Reason. Because when we speak, it doesn't matter in which language. Yes, it doesn't matter. We say the book is on the table. Yes? Yes. Yes, never. This is what also Pascal says, the French mathematician. He says in his time as well, if people do not recognize facts that there is law of gravity, how can you continue speaking to them? And here it ends. Yes, people do not recognize facts. So, why in any language now? Any language is composed of sentences, and each sentence is composed of words. The way we speak the words, and it doesn't matter in which language, we create order. The order reflects reason. Yes? This is why we speak using names. Yes? Because the world, the way the world is an expression of divine reason. And we are just being created from the same source. So we are using the same reason in our life. Otherwise, life could not work on earth without reason. Yes? So this is why, yes, I return to the Bible. The Bible is the book of being. The Bible is the book of reason. Therefore, Moses, who wrote the 5 books of Moses, he is telling us or describing to us how is the mode of being. To understand being, we need a deep perspective of at least 26 generations to see what is happening. But, yeah, for some people, it's not enough. They don't want to look, yes, and to see the deep lens. yes, that Moses is offering, or the Torah, or the Bible offers, and they want to have a short term perspective. What I tell you is what there is. Yes, like in tyranny, any other tyranny, and I tell you how things are and what are the facts of life, and people supposed to obey. And if they will not obey, a violent or punishment will be used against them because they're not obeying. Yes, this is what happens. This is tyranny to its, yes, different colors and forms. What is worse? Yes. Yes, taking the Bible literally or rejecting is a fantasy book. If it's a fantasy, it's a fantasy. It's far. It does not oblige. The thing is when people take it literally, they instrumentalize the Bible, and they using the Bible or the book to control other people. This is much worse. If it's a fantasy, it's fantasy. People can draw it, can make movies about fantasy. Yes, but to take it literally, it means the people who take the Bible literally, they claim ownership of understanding how divinity works, which of course they're very far away from it. Nobody knows how divinity works. Nobody knows. We look at nature and we see 4 seasons, or we see the rhythm of the waves in the ocean as a consequence of the tide. We learn, we contemplate, we follow the divine reason. This is what Abraham did. Because a couple of days ago, I remember it was Friday night, and 2 hours before midnight, we received a question from a Hebrew reader because we have a blog in Hebrew as well. And Abraham, he himself was asking, who kept the Shemitah first? Or who was the first man to keep the Shemitah? Just to make us, to put us on the same page, Shemitah, yes. What is Shemitah? Shemitah is an order, meaning that we receive, which is written in the Torah. 6 years we are cultivating the land. Yes, 6 years there is a cultivation of the land, and the land gives its fruit through the trees, through the crops, and so on. And in the seventh year, we let the land rest. We don't cultivate we don't sow the ground, we don't plant new trees, we just do nothing. We do nothing, and we let the land rest. This is basically Shemitah. Yes? Shemitah, and 7 Shemitot, because we count in the cycle of 7, and 7 times 7 we have 49. Yes, a circle, yes, and then we have a jubilee. Yes, and then we have a jubilee. Jubilee is the 50. This is the order of things, of life. So, back to the question that we received 2 hours before midnight. The question was, who was the first man to keep the Shemitah, meaning let the land or the earth rest? And I answered him, and I said it was not about men who had this idea. We don't have ideas or original ideas. I wrote this man and said, this is how life is working. This is how life works. Yes, we take the 365 days of a solar, yes, of a solar year. The sun year is 365 days. We divide it into 7, and we get 52 weeks with extra of one, which is unity. So I told and I wrote this person who asked the question, it's not a man to keep it. When people just contemplate and look how nature works, this is how nature works. So it's not the idea of Moses that wrote it in the Torah or previous people to Moses who kept, because in many, many midrashim and laws, it is written that Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob kept the Torah before it was written, before it was given historically from Moses. Just by contemplating, by looking how things are working, this is how it works. This is how it works. So the Torah is just exposure, yes, of how life are really happening. And it's not about the mitzvot or the good deeds. This is how life is. The mitzvot or the good deeds are just describing what is already happening. The Torah is not a startup. Yes? Person goes to an office, he has a startup, call it Torah, and everybody's getting rich. No, the Torah is not a startup. This is how things are working. Yes. Yes. Some people think that, yes, little of mitzvot will send them to heaven. Yes. It's not, we're not doing anything, basically. The description, so to speak, of the mitzvot or what the Torah brings is just description of life as is. As is. Yeah, sorry, I can't listen to you today. I need to check off these good deeds on my list. Yes, this is how people go with a notebook. Yes, people playing God. This is a very, very good example. People are playing God. They go with their notebooks or with their journals and they write to themselves plus and minuses. They're playing God. Like if they know what act will bring to a certain way and what act will bring to another, we don't know. And this is what Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement, is teaching us. We don't know. And this is the one. This is when we divide. This is a very complex system, the Jubilee system. Shemitah, Jubilee, Yom Kippur, Rosh Hashanah, those are very, very complex system in counting time. Counting time is a spiral, exist and not exist. I will not go into this. I need 10 years to explain it. But when we say that we divide the solar year into 7, we get 52 plus 1. The 1 is Yom Kippur. That binds everything together. Yes? And this is how, and this is the forgiveness that, so to speak, because there is no crime, there is nobody to accuse, because we're not doing anything unless we get a thought that hovers over our head, and we are not sending our thoughts, we are just receivers. So no one is to blame. So we don't do mitzvot, but the mitzvot, yes, the mitzvot are doing us. Yes, also ideas are carrying us, and we are not carrying ideas. Yes? The ideas are carrying us. We are not carrying ideas. Yes. It's everything opposite. We are not the doers. We're just the receivers. Yes, there is a process of divine thought, divine consciousness, and it sends, like it signals to us, and we think, I have the thought, or I have the notion, or I need to hold the guitar now and to play a song. Oh, and a person thinks, oh, I'm a genius. I'm holding the guitar and I'm playing a song. No, there is a need. Yes, that the song will go out and you get this command to hold the guitar and suddenly you sing and it's wow, one go and it's working. Yes, because this is what consciousness wants us, you, me, someone to do, and this is what happens. Yes, I need an urge to write a letter to a friend because the consciousness, this infinite consciousness, wants to connect A and B, and suddenly one friend has a special urge to write a letter to another friend, and this is what we do, or to leave the phone call. Yeah, we are just in a way puppet on strings, but it's hard for us to admit. But this is how it goes. But in a way, though it seems peculiar, it's very much relieving because we're not doing any of this. So it gives a sense of relief, you know, just as because we're not Atlas carrying the world on our shoulder, on our back. Because people have this notion, oh, I'm carrying this suffering on my back. This is how people go to the world. Yes, yes. And this is also people how they look. Their shoulders are folded like they were balls, like rolling balls. They don't go straight anymore. They're dragging their feet on the floor. Developing depression when people are dragging the feet on the floor or on the pavement, it's a depression. Yes, you don't know how hard my life is. This is it. When it's my life, so to speak, it's very hard, but it's life and it's not, and this is it. If it's not life, my life, this is life. So there is no weight on it. We don't have to carry anything on our back, in our heart, and grudges. Yes? When people carry grudges in their heart, they will not tell you that they will have a grudge, but they will tell you one thing: life is hard. When people tell you life is hard, they have a grudge in their heart. This is very easy to detect. Plus, yes, we don't have personal life. My life, yeah, we don't have personal life. We see ourselves as a separate object because we have separate bodies, but we don't have personal life because each and every one of us is located in space and time because the divine consciousness using him or her, yes, as an instrument to stream life in a harmonious way. We were chosen. We did not, we were chosen to come here. We didn't want to, but we were chosen to come here because divine consciousness has a plan for us. And this is why we're here. As much as one goes to the concrete, more he feels that he is the one that is responsible. Yes, this is correct. This is gravity. Yes. The more we are, yes, how do you say, swallowed in concrete, the more we think we are responsible because this is a cause of gravity, because this is what the gravity power does to us unless we are walking the opposite direction of the sail. Yes, go with the wind. And few people have the ability to go to Yesod, to the imaginary, symbolic, parallel world. Yes, yes. Some people, but they were programmed too. You see, Fernando, nobody chose this, but some people were granted with this ability to imagine, to be creative, to have a lateral parallel thinking. Yes. And it is not a choice of a man or of a woman. It is not. We were programmed like this. It is hard for us to accept it. Yes? But it is easy, it's easier when people who are programmed in this way to meet, they understand each other. there is no need in very long talks because they already were programmed in this way that they don't need much to ping to verify that they're in their own sphere or in their own home, so to speak. Echo chambers. Yes, yes. This is a very good environment when people meet or come together and they have similar, let's say, scope about life. They just, in a way, support each other, not even fortify, but support each other by just being. Yes, it is. It is very much. It's great freedom. Yes, to meet those friends, to be in contact with them, because you don't need to exchange so much like in the mechanical. There's not much to do. They just understanding and it goes to creativity or to writing or to music. Yes, because people already understand each other. Yes, yes, yes. People, yes, they surround themselves with the tribes. Yes, this is what really fortify people is to circle themselves with the belt of people, physical people. This is what gives them a sense of control, of ownership of other people. Or they circle themselves with all kinds of feed that they think that in a way help them or in a way, yes, to stand against the world. Yes. So it can work. Yes. Yes. That's correct. Yes. There's a beautiful there's a beautiful parable about Rebecca when she was pregnant with the twins, and she was walking in the street, and when she was passing by a school or academy, Jacob wanted to go out of the womb, so she felt his kicks in the belly. And when she passed next to a circus, yes, or like a sport arena, how do you say, gladiator scenes or so, Esau wants to go out and Esau was kicking. So she noticed their qualities already in her womb. So, yes, and this is not just a story about Esau and Jacob. Yes, our qualities are being chosen before we came here. We did not choose our qualities. We are not our own makers. Yes, our lives were decided for us before we came here. What shall be our qualities? What shall be our sensitivities? And so on. So it's, and we did not choose it, so it's quite relieving. So the self made man is an illusion, then, of course. How can a man made make himself? How can it be? Just impossible. This is an illusion, like any other ideas that are not fully discussed. We let all kinds of ideas slide into our lives through people, relatives, schools, without really scanning them, without checking if they're working or not. We adapt. This is what life bring, like a stream, like a river. Yes. So all kinds of ideas saying from the movies, from the books, magazines, all kinds of saying, and we just like washing machine goes into the head, and of course this one says that, and in this book it says that, without questioning. And I like what we do here because we question everything. This is what Philon used to do in his books, and this is what people usually do. We have very tight controls on borders at the airport, but into our mind we let all kinds of things unchecked. Yes, yes. Yes, that the country or the state will guard the airport or the borders control with passport. Of course, there's also a passport control, there is also a signature or a stamp, but we don't do this check or in our own thoughts or mind. We never check what is coming in. Which thought managed to penetrate the guard and dig inside and make a chaos in our life. This is also what Hildegard, Therese of Avila, yes, sorry, it was, yeah, I have the book, Therese of Avila. She writes it in her book that we don't notice, and in a split of a second, suddenly comes a thought and destroys all the palaces that we have inside because we have not checked this thought and didn't authorize it. Like the watchmen on the walls of Jerusalem. Yes, yes, that's correct. We have to check our belief because what happens, and it's not so much about fault, yes? There's a mechanical process of thinking that we are charged during the 24/7 with thoughts, with notions, and so with impressions. This is a mechanical process, but it is good at least one day to check, or if we notice that there is a shift in our mood, to check to which thought we gave a control or we gave a path to go into the deep mind. So if we notice there's a shift in the mood, suddenly we're down to check again which thought managed to go through the guard and make a mess inside. So it's good to exercise this exercise. Yes, also the 24/7 news cycle isn't helping. Of course not. Of course not. It is interesting. I noticed this week. Ideas come much faster than we can check them. That's correct. That's correct. That's correct. I noticed this. I made this experiment about here, and I checked myself to see how is my mood is shifting if I'm not consuming news, even once a day. So I skip it. I try like 72 hours without news. And I'm happy to tell that the outcome is as follows. Few poems were written. Few poems were sent. Few poems got good, hearty comments from people. So, by not consuming news for 72 hours, came a space. From this space came a new notion. From this new notion, Etty went, and through Etty, something moved and was put on paper and then was sent. And people are reading. And Etty does not have, let's say, a down because there's a war outside, but there is a way to shift the awareness and to cause the space in a way to move through a positive output, not to receive so much the bad news from the world because they will always come, but just dieting, having this little diet of not consuming those news about the war. And suddenly there's a space, a person can breathe, and new things are coming. So what we are needed is just to take this little space. This is it. And it's not about who writes something or what is being written or who is the one to read it. This is just an experiment that if one person experienced this, it is working. Yes, it is working. Also, when people have too much, how do you say, condensed experience with the world, many hours outside of home, meeting so many people in so many different conditions, at some point it is wounding him. It is like he's like wounded animal. I felt it only from reading the news. And what we need is just to stay back from this stream of news, and this divine plan will heal us because we're not in contact with his malevolence input. Isn't there a quote like, give me a little space and I shall give you the world? Yes. Yes. Give me a space in a size, yes, of a needle hole, and I shall show you a door or a way in which palaces could exist. Yes. 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 Just a little bit of space, because it is what is happening to all of us. We try, like with the cake, a little slice, and then it is bigger because it's not satisfying, because it's sugar. This is what is happening to us with the news. We try a little message. Oh, it's horrible. So we move to the next message or to the next line in the news section. And this is much more terrifying. So maybe the third message will be even better. We'll have relief from the third. No. And then 10 messages are coming because it's horrible. Yes? Yes. The mechanics of doom scrolling. Yes. And then you don't have a mood and everything is down, and it's just to drink salt water. The more you drink it, the more salty it becomes, and you cannot have like a sense of harmonious feeling. So the more we consume it, the less we are sucked in this world of, let's say, news. We are losing, in a way, the soul is moving out. The soul does not want to participate in this process. When we are consuming, this is very interesting, when we are consuming news, the soul drifts away. When the body, the eyes, yes, they will read every letter. But one thing is for sure, the soul is not participating, going very, very far. Yes? She's not participating. And we think that we are the readers, and we are convinced that we know what is happening in the world. We know who shot who, but the soul is completely out there. Yes. Yes. I need some air, says the soul. There's not enough air here. I'll take a walk. This is what the soul does. This is what Luzzatto is writing. The soul does not want to participate in the process of dying. Yes? Yes, because the soul is a living soul. When we consume news, we are dying. Yes? We are under a guillotine, like in France. Yes? This is the same. It's interesting because we see in the movie, in those times there were no movies or happening, so people went to the city center to watch people being killed under the guillotine. Something happened, horrible and horrified, but something happened. Now we don't need to go to France in the 16th century. Just enough one moment on the news. This is a death sentence. Sometimes, after consuming news of many hours, the breaking news ticker continues in our head, even when the screens are off. Okay, yes, the scenario, the poison is already there. Yes, the poison and the toxicity, and it's working. Doesn't need a messenger, it's already there. Yes, Fernando, yesterday I had to go to the hospital to realize an exam, and the place was with the TV turned on. I made everything to avoid it, but it penetrated, and I was thinking that some channels, mainstream, have audience just because of the waiting room. That, of course, of course. Prep customer. Yes, this is what they do in banks. Here in Israel, it's the same in banks, in the post office, in all kinds of waiting. Yes, yes, correct. Just just a bit of awareness. We don't have to consume it. Yes, it's better to look, see a tree, listen to a bird, take care of a plant. Generations before us lived very well without a 30-second update from the field of something which is already dead. Yes? We don't need all of this. We really don't need all of it. Life is so beautiful. Nature. Life is moving through us every moment. Why to miss it? The day will come anyways, and we shall leave this body. So why to do this now? The book of life can be quite fascinating by itself. Yes, that's correct. Because if we don't give ourselves the authority to read the news, suddenly there is no threat, and the soul can stream beautiful stream of life through us. If we read the news or if we consume all kinds of series without giving consent to them, we are just creating a block. We're blocking life from arriving. Yes, because what I want to read the news now. I will tell this is this kind of selfing of what I want and what I know create how do you say, a barrier, and blocks life from flowing inside. But if we don't hold this fence of now I'm reading the news and now I'm doing this and now I'm doing that, life suddenly flow, and what comes to it is the notion of a child. When we were children, life just were there happening. We did not do anything. And this is what happens if we let the soul come. If we're not blocking the soul by we are the doers. Now it's 8 o'clock in the evening, and every day at 8 o'clock I watch the news. Yes? If we're not doing those things to ourselves, life can come and we can experience constant childhood. This is a beautiful moment to experience constant childhood, because childhood does not aim anything. Childhood is being there. So, with this notion, I would like to wish each and every one of you constant childhood of being there. Amen. Thank you and Shabbat Shalom. Thank you for being with us in this space. Thank you so much.